Ophelia remembered that she had not called her sister in a while. She picked up her phone and dialed her sister's number. "Hi, Jeanette. You won't guess where I am now. Can you come in tomorrow morning?" she said to her sister. "Hey, Ophelia. Why are you so excited? What's the good news?" Jeanette asked. "This good news cannot be told on the phone. You will have to come to my office. So can you come tomorrow? In fact, I won't let you just come to my office. I will bring you to my office myself. I'll send the driver to you," Ophelia said. "My gosh, my sister. You're sounding like a billionaire's wife." "How does a billionaire's wife sound?" Ophelia asked quizzically, not understanding what she meant. "It's like you're a totally different person, and I'll send my driver to you. That is so cool." Her sister imitated her, and they both laughed. "So, are you going to come tomorrow? I'll send a car to you," Ophelia wanted to know. "Of course I'll come over. I need to hear all the gist," her sister said excitedly. "Well, how is your husband-to-be?" Ophelia asked. "Yeah, Ophelia, he's doing very well. You know we had to postpone the wedding for the second time, right? It's just not the right time, and Mother is adding pressure," her sister complained. "Jeanette, we'll talk about everything tomorrow, okay? Tell me everything, and as usual, I will give you advice," Ophelia said. "Thank you, sis. Take care of yourself till tomorrow." "You too, Janet." And with that, Ophelia hung up the call. Yes, soon enough, Jack Spell, the head of personnel, came to knock on her door. "Come in," she said. He then opened the door and came in with a file, placing it before her. It was the file of dismissal. "Why is this file with only one empty sheet of paper? I want to see Mr. Harrison's file, his personnel file. This letter is supposed to go in." "Jack Spell, don't try my patience. You are pushing your luck. If you play into the hands of Harrison, you will leave this company. Get me his personal file right now. Go," Ophelia shouted. He quickly ran out, and Ophelia looked at the file that was placed before her and the letter of dismissal. She made some corrections. She pressed her intercom button. "Alice," Ophelia said. "Yes, madam." "Call me Timothy's secretary." "All right, madam." In an instant, Timothy walked in. "Timothy, if I want something retyped, who do I give it to?" Ophelia asked him. "Madam, you can give it to me. I'll do it, and I'll bring it back to you retyped," he said. She gave him the file, and he took it away. In not up to 5 minutes, the file had come back with a fresh copy of the dismissal letter. She signed the new copy. When the head of personnel came with a bulky file belonging to Mr. Harrison, he put the signed copy of the letter in his file. Then, she wrote at the back of the file, "Let this file be taken to Harrison by your own hands, Jack Spell. If you give it to him, I would know. And if you don't give it to him, I will also find out, and your head will be the next to go," Ophelia threatened. "Please, madam, I'll take it to him. You don't need to go that far. I'm going there right away to give it to him," Jack Spell said as he quickly scurried out of the office. He went to give the file to Harrison, and instantly he jumped out of his seat. "What? This girl is crazy. Who made her CEO? What does she know? And she's giving me a dismissal letter? Who does she think she is? This girl is stupid. I think I need to get some boys to beat her up. When she's properly dealt with, her head will come back to itself. Rubbish. Nonsense." So Jack Spell came back to his madam's office and relayed everything that Harrison had said. "Well, since that's the way he wants it, let it be. There's a man outside my door, call him," she told Jack Spell. "Yes, madam," and so he went to call the guard outside. Once the guard came in, he walked to his madam. "Madam, you called?" "Yes, I did." "Jack Spell, can you go with him to Harrison's office? Your bank, right? I want the man who would be pointed out to you for you to carry him bodily out of this office," she ordered. "All right, madam," Banks smiled, cracking his knuckles. The guard followed Jack Spell back, so Ophelia sat back expecting to hear some good news. In another 5 minutes, Banks came back with Jack Spell. "It has been done, madam. He knows that if he steps into the building, he will have himself to blame," the guard explained. "Thank you very much, Banks. You can go back to your position. Jack Spell, I need for you to learn from this. Yes, I am the new CEO, but I will not tolerate any insubordination from any one of you. I will not, so please be careful." "All right, madam. Thank you, madam." Ophelia then gave him the empty file he came with at first, and then he collected it and left. After a few hours, Ophelia looked at the time. She expected her husband to come early so they would either go out and eat or go home and eat. She just wanted to see him, to actually kiss him for what he did for her. He had told her to assert her role, that she is Mrs. Alexander Prescott, and she shouldn't be a softie that anyone can step on. His words had kept playing in her head. But what my husband said was true. It's like the kiss he gave me infused courage into me, she said to herself as she smiled and closed her eyes with a smile still on her lips. Then, all of a sudden, her door flung open. Who is making my wife smile like this? Her eyes flew open. Alexander, she said. A smile appeared on his lips as he walked in. You were supposed to knock before coming in, she said again. Why do I have to knock before coming into my wife's office? I'm the only one who has the right to step in and out like a ghost, Alexander said. Oh no, don't do ghostly things here. That is too creepy and too weird. Are you set to go home now? She said. Oh well, I just said to keep you company, he said to his wife. So Ophelia took this as an opportunity to relay what happened with Mr. Harrison earlier that day. That is very good. You handled it very well, Alexander said, clapping his hands for his wife. That is my woman. I have been waiting for you to show yourself all this while. That is good, and that is great news indeed, and for that I'll get you a gift. Oh no, it's okay, Alexander, you spoil me, she protested. I want to give you the world, Alexander said, trying to convince his wife. Please don't give me the world. Just give me only you. In fact, I don't really mean it that way, she said in total confusion. You know what? I have a gift for you. It's at home, Alexander said, surprising her. No, not that type of gift. I don't want it, Ophelia responded. Don't worry, don't be afraid. I've been waiting for you. I've waited for you for how many years? I will wait for you until you invite me. Nobody can accuse me of forcing them to do anything they don't want to. I only encourage people to do what would make them better. I never push people into doing what they don't want to do, and so it would be between you and me. But I am glad, he said. And thank you, Alexander. I saw the men. They came right on time. Wait, I want to ask you something. Is those really their real names, or were they just teasing me? Ophelia said wide-eyed. No, that's their real name. Bully, Ben, and Bank. I normally pick them in threes like that. With the many guards I have, I might need a voice recorder to remember their names. What I do is any 3 or 4 that have names almost sounding or looking alike, I put them together so I can remember their names, Alexander explained. Thank you so much. They came in just at the right time. You know that Harrison man? He came here and he was dragging me off the chair, Ophelia reported. What? He touched your arm? Alexander responded with fire blazing in his eyes. No, he's already out. Don't worry, Ophelia said. It's Bank who handled him, right? Alexander asked. His wife nodded in response. Well, that's okay. Alex knew what to do. He got up from his chair. So, shall we? He asked. Yes, Ophelia responded simply. She got up as well, carrying her bag with her. She went around to her staff in their offices and let them know that she was leaving for home. Alice, Timothy, and Benedict. She had only met Benedict once, and then the assistant secretary. I will be leaving for home. Make sure you take care of the office. You know there are some rascals out there, she said as she bade them all goodbye. They also responded. Her husband was waiting for her patiently as she said her goodbyes. She followed him into the elevator and down to the car, heading to the mansion immediately. Alexander, I didn't tell you, but I need a car to bring my sister to my office tomorrow. I don't know who you have that could help me with that, Ophelia said. I will handle it, her husband responded. Can you also send a bodyguard along so that she'll be safe coming to me? I don't know how many enemies I have gathered now, Ophelia requested. You just let me know when you want her to be brought, okay? I'll do the rest, her husband reassured her. Thank you, my husband. Thank you so much, Ophelia said, leaning into him and kissing him on the cheek. So, are we getting bold? He said with a smirk. Forget about that. Also, I just wanted to say thank you so much for what you did for me today. It really blew my mind. Nobody in my life has ever loved me this much. So, thank you. And I owe you one, Ophelia said. No, you're not indebted to me. I am indebted to you, so whatever I do, it's not up to what you did for me, Alexander stated. Oh, Alexander, stop saying that. I don't know what I even did for you, Ophelia said. But I know what you did for me. Another time, another place, we'll talk about it. Or, in case you want to give me a proper kiss, let's not do it in the car. Let's get home. And by the way, you'll do a bit of that one. I don't accept that as a thank you, he said, smiling to himself. She turned and looked at him. You are on your own. I'm not interested in anything you have to offer, she said. Not long after that, they arrived home. Alexander stepped out and stretched forth his hand to his wife. She took his hand and they went upstairs to their room. When she got to their room, she kicked her sandals off and flopped on the bed. I'm so tired, Alexander. Is this how you sit in the office all day and feel like this? I feel even worse than when I was working the other job. Well, I told you that I have my hands in several pies, so I do a lot of things at the same time just so that it doesn't get all boring and stiff, he said. So let me go and take a shower, she said, getting off the bed and heading for the shower. She turned her head to the window and saw a dark figure.